Hello dear students, so today we are going to start with new chapter, that is reflection. Okay, now we will first understand the reflection of a point in a Cartesian coordinate system, which you are familiar with from your class 9 coordinate geometry. Okay, so let's take a graph sheet and draw these two lines, right? So this horizontal line is called x-axis and this vertical line is called y-axis, and this point of intersection is known as origin and it is denoted as O. Now let me take a point and let me call the coordinate to be xy. Now first we'll try to understand reflection in x-axis. So that means if this x-axis acts like a mirror for me, then where does the image lie? Obviously from your physics you know that the reflection will happen in the opposite direction, and the distance between the image and the mirror will be the same as the distance between the object and the mirror. Okay, so if this is your mirror, then your reflection will be somewhere over here and these two distance will be the same. Okay, now if you call x-axis to be your mirror, then remember you need to note down that the x coordinate will not change because this distance is going to be the same, so only this distance will be changed. Okay, although the distance is same but the sign is going to be different, so x sign won't change, the sign of y will change, so that's why the reflection will be this one. So pause the video to note down. Now next kind of reflection is reflection in y-axis. That means if my y-axis is the mirror, then where does the image of this lie? Obviously my image will be lying somewhere over here because this is the mirror. Okay, now in this case what you need to notice is whenever you are reflecting along y-axis, your y coordinate will not change, only x coordinate will change. So that's why your new coordinate will be this one. So plus becomes minus, and if it is minus here, this becomes plus. Now next kind of reflection is reflection in origin. That means if this is your mirror, okay, then the reflection of this will be exactly in the opposite way, right? So that's why your reflection will be here, your image will be here, and the sign of both x and y will change in this case. Okay, so this will become minus x minus y. Okay, so if you note down all these things, then our work is going to be very easy in the exercise. So let me take the first exercise. So we need to complete the following table. Okay, so point is given, image is given. Now let us see what is happening here. So the sign of 5 is beginning minus here. Okay, so x coordinates is changing, similarly y coordinates also changing, so both the coordinates are changing, means the transformation is reflection in origin, as simple as that. Okay, so let us try to understand. So this is 5 minus 7 and this is minus 5 7. So since both of them lie exactly in the opposite direction diagonally, right, so that's why reflection is through origin. Now in the next case 4 2 is given, so let me plot the 4 2 and reflection in xy axis, x axis, that is x axis is your mirror, so that obviously your image will be somewhere over here, and as I said, whenever you are reflecting through x axis, your x distance won't change, so only y will change its sign, so that's why your answer will be 4 minus 2. Okay, next is 0 6 is there. Okay, 0 6 is the image of one point. Okay, now you are reflecting that point in y-axis, so this is y-axis, and let me draw its image first. Okay, since there is some problem here, let me call this to be 0 6. Okay, and since this is lying exactly on the y-axis, okay, mirror is also here, your object is also exactly on the same line, so that's why your image will also be in the same line. Okay, so you can call this as object and you can call this as image as well, because we know that the image of this will be this one, right? And the image of this will be this one. Okay, so you can call this as a object, you can call this as image as well. So that's why, since the object and the mirror both are on the same line, that's why your image will be, or the main object will be exactly on the mirror. So this will also be 0, 6. Now let us go to the next one. So 6 minus 6, here minus 6, 6. The sign of x coordinates also changing, y coordinates also changing. So that's why it is reflection in origin. Okay, next is, obviously you have to check out by yourself. Your answer will be reflection in y-axis. So pause the video to note down. Okay, so this you will try by yourself. Okay, now 6. Let us try to understand this. State the coordinate of the following points under the reflection in line x equals to 0. Now this is very important for me. We need to understand what is the meaning of this. To understand this, first we'll draw Cartesian coordinate system. Now x equals to 0. Now let us see what is the line x equals to 0. Now if you check in this line, that is x-axis, you have different values for x. Okay, but the values for x should be equals to 0. So here only at this point the value of x will be 0. Otherwise you will have different values for x. For example, if I go here, it will be 1 2 3 4 5, that is x equals to minus 5. Similarly, this is x equals to 1, x equals to 2. So that's why you'll have different values for x except at this point. Okay, now let us go to y-axis. Now obviously here we are not moving in the x direction, right? We are not moving this way, we are not moving that way also. So that's why the value of x is 0 on the y-axis. So that's why x equals to 0 refers to the y-axis, So you need to find the reflection of these points in the y-axis. So let me take one example. So this is my x equals to 0. So minus 6 4 is given in the first case. So its reflection or its image under y-axis will be exactly here, and the y coordinate will not change, as I said earlier. So the coordinate will become minus 6 is becoming plus 6 now. So that's why my answer will be 6, 4. The full solution is given here. You can pause the video to note down. Okay, let's take next question, 8.2. Now question says a point P is reflected in x-axis. So a point P is there, and x-axis is your mirror, and the coordinate of its image is given to you minus 4 5. Okay, so minus 4 5 lies somewhere over here, no, right? Minus 4 5 is here, then obviously object has to lie somewhere over here, right? So this is my point P. Now let us see what is the coordinate of this. Okay, obviously since it is reflected along x-axis, your x direction won't change, only y direction will change. So it will be minus 4, and this 5 becomes minus 5. So the coordinate of P is minus 4 5. Now the question is saying find the coordinates of the image of P. You need to find the coordinate of image of P under the reflection in y-axis. Now point P is reflected under y-axis, so that's why its reflection will lie somewhere over here, right? So you have to find the coordinate of that, which will be equals to 4 minus 5. So pause the video to note down. Now let us have a look at this question. So a point AB is first reflected in origin. So there's a point AB, I don't know where it is. Now it is reflected in origin. Suppose if it is here, then it will be reflected this way. If it is here, then it will be reflected this way. Okay, now it is first reflected in origin, and after reflecting, then it is reflected in the y-axis to P dash. Suppose if AB is here, okay, if AB is here, then it is reflected in origin. Okay, now your new point is here. Now this new point is reflected in y-axis, so your coordinate shifts here. That means P dash will be somewhere over here. That's what the question is saying. Question is saying that P dash has coordinate 4 6. Okay, so P dash is somewhere over here. So that means we can work backward as well. Okay, so that's why if I reflect this, because this P dash is the reflection along y-axis, right? So when I reflect it, you'll get your image somewhere over here. Okay, now let us see what is the coordinate of this. So the coordinate of, okay, so if we work backward, your reflection will be here, and this point is actually the reflection through origin. Okay, that means the reflection of this through origin will lie somewhere over there. Okay, now it is said that this is the given point in the beginning whose coordinate is AB. So we need to find the coordinate of AB. Obviously, what will the coordinate? If you see from the diagram, it will be 4 minus 6, right? So let us see the solution. So solution says mirror image of AB when it is reflected through origin. This is the meaning of that. Mirror image of AB when reflected through origin. So when it is reflected through origin, both the signs will change, so it will become minus A minus B. Now you are this minus A minus B, now you are reflecting this minus A minus B through y-axis. So when you change from y-axis, your y coordinate will remain same, so only A coordinate will change. That means minus A becomes A. So that means when it is reflected, you will get A minus B. But A will be equals to 4 and minus B equals to 6. That is, if minus B is equals to 6, then the value of B will be minus 6. So that's what is the answer. Pause the video to note down. Okay, so we'll have a look at last question. So question 16. So you need to plot triangle ABC whose vertices are given here. So it's very simple. So A is given, B is given, C is given. So let us plot A, that is 3 1. So 3 1 is somewhere over here. Now let us plot B. B is 5 0, somewhere over there. And similarly C is 7 4. Now I have plotted A, B and C. We need to join them to form triangle ABC. So when I join them, I will get this triangle. Now on the same diagram, draw the image of triangle ABC under reflection in origin. That means we need to find the image of each vertices through origin. So this 3 1 becomes minus 3 minus 1. As I said, both the sign will change, so minus 3 minus 1 is somewhere over there. Similarly, let's see what is the reflection of this. So it will be minus 5 okay, now negative of 0 is also 0 only, so it will be minus 5 0. Now similarly, this 7 4 becomes minus 7 4. Now let me call the image of A to be A dash, B to be B dash, and C to be C dash. Now at last we need to again join the lines. So this will be your answer. Pause the video to note down. Thank you very much.